If you've overcome major traumas in silence, without an audience and without applause, you possess a kind of unbreakable strength that most people will never understand. There are battles fought in open fields, with shouting and witnesses, and then there are wars that happen exclusively inside a dark room at 3 a.m., where the only spectator is the ceiling. Those who survive this second kind of war come out of it changed, not just strong, but forged. Psychology recognizes that processing extreme pain, abuse, grief, abandonment, violence, without relying on external validation or support, develops a specific mental structure, a kind of psychic metal alloy that does not bend easily. In this video, we're going to decode the anatomy of this silent resilience. We'll explore how emotional self-sufficiency becomes a superpower of stability, how the alchemy of pain transforms suffering into functionality, and why those who heal alone develop an almost supernatural ability to read people and environments. You'll discover that your ability to keep walking when everything told you to stop wasn't luck. It was the construction of an indestructible inner core. If you carry stories you've never told anyone, stories that shaped every inch of who you are today, this video is the recognition you never asked for but deserve to hear. The first pillar of this strength is extreme emotional self-sufficiency. Most people need constant co-regulation. They need to vent, to cry on someone's shoulder, or to receive validation, to hear someone say, "It's going to be okay," to calm down. But those who crossed the desert alone learned to be their own oasis. You learned to process terror, sadness, and anger without projecting them outward. This created a very rigid core of stability. You know, through empirical experience, that you can endure your own company in your worst moments. This certainty, "I can handle myself," eliminates the fear of loneliness. While others despair in the silence, you inhabit it with familiarity. This self-sufficiency isn't arrogance, it's the calmness of someone who has hit rock bottom and discovered they could still find their footing. Your strength comes from an absence of dependency. You don't need the world to tell you who you are, because you found out who you are when the world wasn't looking.
Beyond self-sufficiency, those who heal their wounds in the dark develop a rare and powerful psychological skill, the alchemy of pain. Academic psychology calls this post-traumatic growth, but the lived experience is much more visceral and alchemical. It is the literal ability to take the raw, toxic material of suffering, the lead of depression, the acid of betrayal, the weight of abandonment, and transmute it into golden, pragmatic functionality. You didn't just get over the event, you integrated it into your biology. Pain stopped being something that wounds you and became something that constitutes you. This unbreakable strength comes from a very clear and liberating realization. If I survived that night, that year, that loss, then I can survive absolutely anything life throws at me now. This recalibrated perspective fundamentally alters the individual's relationship with everyday challenges. A shift occurs on the emotional Richter scale. For most people, a flat tire, a boss's criticism, or a breakup is experienced as a devastating magnitude 9 earthquake. For the silent survivor, these same events feel like light magnitude 2 tremors. They are just logistical inconveniences, not existential crises. The pain threshold has been raised to a level most will never know. This relative resilience creates an aura of calm that can easily be mistaken for coldness or arrogance by others, but it is actually an efficient conservation of vital energy. You learned not to waste your precious adrenaline on anything that doesn't threaten your life. You naturally become the pillar of stability in other people's crises. Not because you don't feel or care, but because you've navigated oceanic storms without a compass or a boat, so a summer shower doesn't scare you. You learned how to channel that energy. Anger became ambition and focus. Grief became depth and wisdom. Fear became strategic caution and planning. Nothing is wasted in the survivor's psychic economy. Every bit of emotional waste is recycled and turned into a source of power. This extreme functionality explains why many of these people become highly successful in their careers, operating at high performance even while carrying devastating personal histories that would paralyze the average person. They don't use pain as an anchor to stop, but as propulsion fuel to move faster than the pain can reach.
Those who survived deep traumas in silence developed, out of biological necessity, a cognitive and sensory superpower: keen observation and environment reading. Originally, this skill was born as hypervigilance. If you grew up in an unpredictable, violent, or emotionally unstable home, your childhood brain was forced to become an expert in threat detection. You learned to read microsignals that are invisible to most: a subtle shift in a parent's tone of voice, the specific pattern of footsteps in the hallway, the tension in an authority figure's jaw. Knowing how to read these signs meant having time to hide, prepare, or defend yourself. Today, in adulthood, this survival skill has been refined and transformed into high-precision cognitive empathy. You are able to read people and atmospheres with almost surgical accuracy. You walk into a room and feel the energy in the air. You intuitively know when someone is lying, manipulating, or hiding deep pain. You see the sadness behind the brightest smile and the insecurity behind the loudest arrogance. This perception isn't mystical or magical, it's intensive neurological training. Your survival depended for years on your ability to interpret the invisible and the unspoken. This skill grants you immense strategic advantages. It makes you an excellent negotiator, a keen leader, or a deeply understanding friend, for the few you let in. You understand dark human motivations not because you studied psychology in books, but because you had to decipher them in practice to keep from being destroyed by them. However, this X-ray vision also has its cost: intellectual isolation. Seeing the raw, unvarnished truth of people, their hidden intentions, their weaknesses, their ego games, makes dealing with superficiality intolerable. You have little patience for social masks because you see right through them instantly. Small talk feels like an irritating waste of time for someone used to reading souls. Your unbreakable strength comes from the fact that you are unfoolable. You know the darkness of human nature because you've stared it down in your own dark room. So the darkness in others doesn't scare you, surprise you, or manipulate you. It is simply familiar territory that you know how to navigate with your eyes closed.
Another fundamental facet of this unbreakable strength is a completely transformed relationship with being alone. For those who overcame devastating traumas in the silence of their own rooms, loneliness ceased to be a terrifying void that needs to be filled and became a sacred space of sovereignty and recharge. It became solitude. You learned the hard way that in the moment of ultimate collapse, the only person there to pick up the pieces was you. This visceral experience created an unshakable trust in your own company and your own judgment. You do not depend on external validation to know your worth or to make decisions. Other people's opinions have become secondary. If the world applauds, great. If the world criticizes or abandons you, that's fine too. You've survived abandonment before. You know it doesn't kill you. Your sense of identity, who you are, was built on the solid rock of personal survival, not on the shifting sands of social approval. This radical emotional independence makes you, paradoxically, dangerous and immune to certain types of toxicity.
Manipulators, narcissists, and controlling people find it very difficult to affect you because you don't have the hooks of neediness and insecurity that they usually latch onto. They try to make you feel guilty or inadequate, but the tactic fails because you know your truth. You are a self-contained system. However, there is a shadow to this strength. Extreme self-sufficiency can, if left unchecked, turn into defensive isolation. The wall you built to keep the monsters out might end up preventing love and genuine help from getting in. The challenge is no longer about surviving alone, but learning that it is finally safe to let someone into the fortress, not to save you, but simply to keep you company. Real strength isn't just about carrying the weight alone, it's having the courage to share it when it's no longer necessary to be a one-man army.
Having developed an unbreakable strength in silence is, without a doubt, a vital asset. It's what kept you alive. But it is crucial to understand that this strength doesn't have to become a life sentence of perpetual loneliness. There is a real risk of becoming addicted to your own resistance, of taking so much pride in your ability to endure pain that you forget the goal of life isn't just to suffer through it, but to experience joy. Recognizing this strength is only the first step. The next and most courageous step is allowing it to transform into peace. You no longer need to be at war. The enemy has already been defeated or left behind. The hypervigilance that saved your life during childhood or in a crisis is now just draining your energy during the calm. Lowering your guard doesn't mean becoming weak, it means becoming flexible. It means using your strength to build bridges, not just walls. If you feel like this silence, which was once protective, now weighs you down like lead, if you feel like your armor is rusting against your skin and preventing you from feeling the world's touch, know that seeking external help is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of strategic intelligence. No general wins a war alone forever. Professional resources are available to help with this transition from survivor to thriver. Therapy can be the sacred space where you finally tell your story out loud and discover that it no longer needs to be a shameful or sacred secret kept under lock and key. Sharing the weight doesn't diminish your strength, it only makes the walk lighter and longer. Transforming resistance into a light and integrated life is the final act of victory over trauma. It is proof that the past no longer has the power to dictate your future. Ultimately, you carry an invisible and heavy trophy. No one was there to see your battles during those sleepless nights. No one saw when you picked up the pieces of your own soul with bleeding hands, but you saw it. You know. This private awareness is the unshakable foundation of your dignity. You are not a victim of what happened to you. You are the hero who survived what happened to you. The difference is monumental. Your unbreakable strength isn't an armor meant to isolate you from the world. It is a reservoir of power to act within the world. Use this strength to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Use your keen vision to identify lies and defend the truth. Use your alchemy to create beauty where there was once only pain. You've already proven to the universe that you can endure the unbearable. Now the challenge is to prove to yourself that you are capable of enjoying the pleasant. You deserve the peace you fought so hard to conquer. Your silent journey has transformed you into the archetype of the wounded healer. Your scar is your credential. When you speak, people listen because they feel the weight of truth in your voice. Don't hide your story out of shame. If you choose to share it, do it like someone sharing a treasure map, showing others that there is a way out of the labyrinth.
Today, we spoke to the silent survivors, people who overcame great traumas in silence and possess an unbreakable kind of strength, those who carry the world without complaining. We saw that healing alone generates a rare emotional self-sufficiency, the ability to alchemize pain into functionality, and an X-ray vision of human nature. We understood that this strength is real and valuable, but that it also has the right to rest and seek support. If this video was the recognition you've waited for your whole life, if it put into words what you felt in the dark, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. We'll continue to talk about the resilient strength of the human mind every single week. Share this video with that person you know is strong, but who might need to hear that it's okay to rest. And I want to ask you, if you feel comfortable, what was the greatest lesson or superpower you discovered you had while crossing your desert in silence? Share your wisdom in the comments. Your story might be the light someone needs today. Thanks for watching and for resisting. Until next time.